this video, I'm going to show you how to work with resources in Lula Build. So in Lula Build, all build items are priced from so-called first principles. And what that means is that each individual net rate in Lula Build is actually broken down into the individual resources that will be needed to actually build that item on site. So Lula Build provides a module called resources where you can define these building blocks of an estimate. So as you can see, I've already set up a resource list, but resource lists in Lula Build are 100% user defined, and you can create your own resources simply by clicking the add button or by importing them directly from Excel if you do have an external resource list available. So for this example, I'm going to create the resource petrol. So clicking the add button brings up the resource editor, and here you can edit all of the different properties of a resource. So a few of the basic properties of a resource has a code and a name. So a code is basically a short unique identifier. So I'm just going to call petrol F002, but you can give it any code that you want to. And the name is just petrol. And then every resource has a base allowable, which is the amount of money that you spend on it when you purchase it per unit. And let's say petrol is costing 1.24 pounds per liter at the moment. So I can fill in the unit as liter. And then we've also got a loading factor, which is basically if you want to discount or surcharge this base allowable, you can fill in a loading factor, which will then be multiplied with the base allowable to give you an effective allowable, which is used in all calculations in Lula Build. And you can then specify the currency of this resource. So you could, for example, specify a different currency than your tender currency here, and then also assign an exchange rate, which I'm not going to do right now. And then we can also assign some attributes. So I've only created one attribute class in this example, the resource type. And this resource petrol falls under fuel. So I'm going to assign fuel as the resource type. And if you want to, you can assign some tags or add additional comments to this resource. Done. All right, so that then gets added to the resource list. If you want to edit this item again, you can simply double click on it and it'll bring up the resource editor once again. Or alternatively, you can edit the properties of resources directly in the table by switching on the table edit switch at the bottom. And then you'll be able to double click on a line in the table and simply edit the resource directly in the table. Okay, so this resource list typically gets quite large for big projects. So Lula Build has a filter tab that you can use to search for things in this resource list. So you can either just search for things directly in the search bar, or you can filter out items according to tags, or you could filter items according to their resource attributes. So if we only want to see our fuel resources, we simply switch that filter on, and now we can see diesel and petrol. So that's quite convenient for quickly finding things in your resource list. Right, and if you want to see more of the properties of the resources in the table, you can switch on the columns that you want to see by opening up the columns tab. So here, if we want to see the base allowable, the loading factor, we can simply switch on those columns. Right, and if you want to print out this resource list, you can simply click on the printing dialog. And printing in Lula Build is what you see is what you get. So whatever columns were switched on or filters were applied will be applied when you print that report. So these resources will form the building blocks of your estimate, and you'll use these resources to price all of your worksheets and build items in Lula Build. And it is worth the effort to develop a well-defined, detailed resource list, because this will be the foundation on which you build all of your estimates in Lula Build. That's all for today. Thank you.